final night of the Democratic National Convention in Chicago is set to end with Kamala Harris accepting her party's nomination for president. News 4's Washington Bureau correspondent Josh Rultenberg live at the United Center in Chicago. So Josh, what are people there saying ahead of this moment tonight?
Yeah, good evening, Kinsley. There's a lot of energy in this building. There's already people here a lot earlier than they were the past couple of days. There's a lot of enthusiasm that's just been renewed in the Democratic Party because Vice President Kamala Harris is now at the top of the ticket. You heard from basically the royalty of the party, whether it's the Bidens, the Obamas, the Clintons. They're all saying that Vice President Kamala Harris is ready for this moment, and she's ready to be the next president of the United States. Tonight, the theme is For Our Future, and Vice President Harris, as my good friend Julia Benbrook just got done saying, she's going to talk about her story, and she's going to find a way to contrast her story with former President Donald Trump, saying that she's going to take this country towards a brighter day.
Let's dive a little bit deeper. What exactly can we expect from Vice President Harris's speech tonight?
Yeah, keep in mind, she's been working on this speech since she was just still the vice presidential nominee when Joe Biden was still at the top of the ticket. So she's been working on it for a long time. Obviously, she's had some major surgery done to that speech because now she's at the top of the ticket. But she spent the past couple days in downtown Chicago talking with White House advisors, with Harris campaign advisors about just how to fine-tune this speech to deliver to the people behind me. And with that said, she's going to tell her story about being the San Francisco prosecutor, the California attorney general, the U.S. Senator from the state of California, now Vice President of the United States. And then ultimately she's going to say what her economic policies would be, what her immigration policies would be, what her education policies would be, what her reproductive rights policies would be, and trying to say that she and Tim Walz are trying to protect people's rights, whereas Donald Trump and J.D. Vance are trying to restrict people's rights.
Let's flash back to last night. What were your takeaways from VP nominee Governor Tim Walz's speech?
Yeah, well, look, he has Midwestern charm, and he is this football dad, right? He leaned into both of those personas last night, and people got really emotional when they heard his family's personal story. You saw that his son was crying, and that moment has gone viral all over the internet. But look, listen, he used a lot of football analogies to tell the people where they are right now. He said that they're in the fourth quarter, they're down by 3, but they have the football, and they are driving ultimately towards victory in November. But he also said when it comes to Donald Trump and J.D. Vance, and Project 2025, which is this extreme conservative agenda that the two of them are trying to distance themselves from, Walz said anytime a coach draws up a playbook, that a person intends to use it.
So tonight's the last night. What's next for these two following the convention?
Yeah, it's a 75-day blitz to November 5th. Donald Trump and J.D. Vance have been crisscrossing the country in battleground states the last week. That's exactly what Kamala Harris and Tim Walz are going to do. This is the last major moment until the next major moment, which is going to be September 10th. That's the presidential debate between Trump and Harris in Philadelphia. We'll see if that's the only debate, but right now that is the only one currently scheduled. We'll see if there's another one in September or October. Perhaps Harris has a press conference or a sit-down interview with a major network. That remains to be seen as well. But either way, she has got to take her message now to voters and try to sell them to vote for her in November.
Josh Rultenberg, that's our time, but thanks for joining us tonight on News 4 at 5.